Hello, everyone. My name is Brady Bagwan. I work in the Human Resources Department for Morgan Corporation based in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. Here to talk to you today for a couple of minutes about our welding internship program for high school students. So if you're a senior going into your senior year of your high school education in the state of Pennsylvania, within Berks County or Chester County primarily at this time, you have an opportunity to be selected for a paid welding internship with us. So I'll go over those details here in this presentation. Why do you want to be interested, or why do you want to listen to this presentation? If you want to go to college or technical school, there's going to be a cost, and student debt isn't going away. So what we're offering you, and this data on the screens, from our 2018 presentation, it hasn't changed very much. That $37,000 number in the bottom right corner is still about right. These lines for student debt aren't going down. So what we're offering you is an opportunity to be debt-free in securing your college education with our tuition reimbursement program. More on that in a couple of minutes. How much money can you make as a welder? All this stuff is available online. You can Google it all, but approximately anywhere between 18 on the low end and say 24 on the high end dollars per hour. What you're seeing here is kind of the average across multiple industries. So obviously construction folks will get paid a little bit more if they're welding underwater, and then some folks welding in manufacturing don't have as big a requirement and so on. But either case, it's really solid money. And again, you'd be debt free in getting this path. Right out of high school, through our welding internship program, you could be making $18 an hour. Just keep that in mind. $18 an hour, full benefits. So career paths. If you are somebody that thinks you want to go to college, this is some look ahead information of what life can be like right after high school. So year one on this slide, at the bottom on the left, is at age 18 approximately when you graduate high school. So on the top path, which is kind of more the traditional path, kids that want to go to college, they think, okay, well, I'm going to go to college after high school. You spend 4 years there. So by year 5, that's your first entry level job. And then you're in that entry level job for a couple of years. If you're doing everything well, you're doing everything right, you're in the right organization, you might get your first promotion within that first 2 years. So year 7 and 8, out of high school, you get your first promotion. And then, approximately, another couple of years after that, you get your next promotion as supervisor. You make manager in years 10 to 13. So by ages approximately 28 to 31, you end up being in your first manager level role on average. Some people it's faster, some people it's longer. The bottom track is what I'm here to really make sure you think about. Is it's not always graduate high school, go to college is the best path. Depends on your individual preferences, what you want to do after college, what you want to study in college. Obviously, if you want to be an engineer, going to college first, if you can do that, is the fastest path to getting a proper engineering degree and role. But for anything, short of that, there's a lot of other opportunities that you don't have to go to college right away. So you graduate high school year 1 and 2, you come in with Morgan Corporation or other companies, you're a welder, right? You're in a welding job for 1 to 2 years. Then you decide, you know what, I'm ready for college, proper college. Maybe that's years 3 through 5. It could be sooner for us. Month 6, you're eligible for our tuition reimbursement program. So you work with us 6 months full time, you're eligible for this tuition reimbursement program. But it's good to get a couple of years of experience first, get some money put away, get your first car on your own, that type of stuff, milestone stuff. But this path says, you know what, you can make manager in 8 to 10 years, 8 to 11 years. That's the difference, because your work experience, especially if you're in the same company, that company will value that. I'm speaking specifically for Morgan, and you can get promoted to your first supervisory role by year 6, right? And depending on whether you want to defer college, you might even get in your first supervisory role by year 3, right? By age 21, you could be a supervisor for Morgan if you've demonstrated performance, you've learned everything you need to learn, but it's up to you. So again, if you want to get college out of the way first, you can focus on being an individual contributor, individual welder, get the college out of the way, and then move on to leadership. In this case, supervisor by year 6, as opposed to the track on the top which is year 8 out of high school. What does a welding training program look like? Welding training program, you have to be at least 17 years of age. You're going to spend an hour in class each day when you're with us on site, and then an hour in the welding lab. It's obviously free to you. Transportation will be provided to and from school. You'll be making $7.25 an hour while you're sitting in class, either in the classroom or in the welding lab in that first semester. When you graduate from that first semester and you can pass your weld tests, then you're eligible to transition to the factory floor and get more hands-on training, and you'll be at $10 an hour at that point. So you'll actually be building product, helping to build product at that point, making $10 an hour in your second semester. This would be spring semester, senior year. Upon graduation, you can come work with us as a welder, assuming you passed all your weld tests, at $18 an hour. What does it look like when you're in the classroom portion in your first semester? It starts with safety. Those first 6 weeks, it'll be primarily focused around general manufacturing safety and then welding safety. You'll also get your OSHA 10 hour as part of that in that process. The second 6 weeks, you'll actually see what production looks like before welding happens in our world for Morgan. And then in the 5th and 6th week, in the second block of instruction, the second 6 weeks, you're back in the lab for more welding training. And then your final 6 weeks, you're doing a lot more hands-on work and a lot more time on the actual welding machine and honing and refining your welding abilities. So Morgan, just in case you haven't seen our trucks on the road or noticed that we make more than half of these on the market or on the roads in the United States and Canada. We make the boxes, the big cargo areas, and to include platform beds that sit on top of these big chassis. Anything less than a tractor trailer, we make the cargo area. Been around since 1952. We have 4 manufacturing locations and 6 service centers around North America. These are some of the locations where we have operations. So obviously today we're talking about Denver, Pennsylvania, Ephrata, Pennsylvania, Morgantown, Pennsylvania. You don't have to just be a welder with us, right? Some of our best operations folks and leaders have come from the factory floor. They've worked their way up. And so there's a ton of different functions in manufacturing within Morgan or beyond Morgan that you can work your way into. And it starts with gaining experience and then working on your education as well. This is an example of a career path for somebody coming out of production. Starts off as an entry-level production associate. There's 3 levels of production associates that we have. And then you could be a line lead approximately 2.5 to 4 years. You could become a line lead. Supervisor after that, I'd say year 4 to 5, depending on your individual progression. Between production supervisor and director, we have manager level folks in production as well. But there is a career path, a career ladder that you can climb, and you can do so all in the same company here, primarily in our Morgantown, Pennsylvania location. Last slide for you today. You'd be entitled to all of the benefits that we have immediately after graduating high school if you come on with us as a welder, if you graduate from our welding internship program. So let us know if you're interested. Thank you very much for listening, and we look forward to working with you.